This is an activity showing the solubility of sugar in a certain amount of water. Solubility refers to the maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in a given amount of solvent.
Factors affecting solubility.
There are different factors that affect the solubility of a solute in a solvent. These are: number 1, stirring. Look at the activity showing the effects of stirring on the solubility of the salt. The 2 cups A and B contains the same amount of water, and same amount of solute was added. We will not stir cup A, but cup B will be stirred. Let's observe what will happen. As we can see, all the salt particles were completely dissolved in cup B, while on cup A, there are undissolved particles of salt. Take a look at this diagram. The blue circle represents the water particles, and the red square in the middle represents salt crystals. Stirring makes the water particles to come in contact in the corner and edges of the salt crystals. Upon contact, salt crystals started to dissolve. The faster the stirring, the faster the salt to be dissolved. If we do not stir the mixture, less contact between the water molecule and salt crystal will occur. Therefore, it will take longer time for the salt to be dissolved. So, we can say that stirring speeds up the rate of solubility of a solute. The faster the stirring, the faster the solute is dissolved in a solvent. Number 2, particle size. In this experiment, we will try to investigate what type of solute will dissolve faster in a cup of water, iodized salt or rock salt. We will have 2 glasses with the same amount of water. Label them glass A and glass B. On glass A, put 1 teaspoon rock salt, and in glass B, put 1 teaspoon iodized salt. Stir both mixture and observe what happens. As we can see, iodized salt dissolves faster because its particles are smaller than the rock salt. On this diagram, where the blue circle represents the water particles and the yellow square represents the salt crystal, we can see water particles colliding along the surface of salt crystals. The corners and edges of the salt crystals are more easily removed than the center part. So, the small particles dissolve faster because its surface can easily be surrounded by the water particles than the salt with larger particles. Therefore, the smaller the solute particles are, the faster it will be dissolved in a solvent. The third factor that affects the rate of solubility is the temperature. Let's take a look at this activity. We have two glasses, the glass A and B. In glass A, we put 1 cup of hot water, and in glass B, 1 cup of cold water. 1 teaspoon of salt was added in both glasses. Then, stir both mixtures and observe what will happen. As you can see, the salt in hot water dissolves faster than the salt in cold water. Let's study why it happened. In this illustration, the blue circle represents the water particles, and the red square represents the salt crystal. As you can see, salt is dissolved faster in hot water. It is because the molecules of hot water moves faster and come in contact more often with the salt crystals, making it dissolve in a short period of time. So, most of the time, a higher temperature will dissolve a solute faster. Different substances have different properties. Let's take a look at this example. Cup A and B contains the same amount of water. In cup A, 2 teaspoons of cooking oil was added, while on cup B, 2 teaspoons of alcohol was added. Stir both mixtures and observe what happened. From the experiment, we can see that cooking oil was not mixed with water, while alcohol is mixed with water. This is because the two substances have different nature or properties. Oil and water are immiscible with one another. Immiscibles are liquids that do not mix together. Cooking oil is less dense than water. That's why it stays on top of the mixture. On the other hand, alcohol and water are miscible with one another. These are liquids that mix together. For solid substances, let's study the difference between soluble and insoluble. For an instance, glass A and glass B contains same amount of tap water. In glass A, we put 1 teaspoon of sugar, while in glass B, 1 teaspoon of pebbles were added. Stirring both mixtures, observe what happened. From the experiment, we can see that sugar particles were dissolved in water, while the pebbles were not. It is because sugar is soluble, while pebbles is insoluble. Soluble are substances that will be dissolved in water, such as salt, sugar, and coffee powder, while insoluble are solid substances that will not be dissolved in water. Examples of these are starch, rocks, and sand. From these examples, we can say that some solute will dissolve in a solvent, but others are not. It is because of the different nature and properties of different materials.
Types of solutions.
Here is an experiment about the 3 types of solutions, based on the amount of dissolved solute in solvent. unsaturated solution is a solution that contains less solute than the maximum amount the solvent can dissolve at a given temperature. Its color is lighter than the other types of solution. Unsaturated solution is a solution where solutes are completely dissolved and no undissolved particles can be seen. Saturated solution is a solution that contains the maximum amount of solute dissolved by a given amount of solvent. The color of this solution is intermediate compared to the other types of solutions. If a solution is saturated, excess solute particles are seen at the bottom of the container. Supersaturated is a solution that contains more amount of solute than the maximum amount that solvent can dissolve at a given temperature. This solution has a darker color compared to unsaturated and saturated solution. If a solution is supersaturated, more excess solute particles are seen at the bottom of the container. Some solute form crystals in a supersaturated solution.
There are three types of solutions: the unsaturated, saturated, and supersaturated solutions. Unsaturated solution is a solution that contains less solute than the maximum amount the solvent can dissolve at a given temperature. Saturated solution, on the other hand, is a solution that contains the maximum amount of solute dissolved at a given amount of solvent. While supersaturated is a solution that contains more solute than the maximum amount the solvent can dissolve at a given temperature. For comparing the color of the solutions, unsaturated solution is lighter in color. The saturated solution is intermediate, and supersaturated is darker in color. And lastly, unsaturated solution has completely dissolved solute and no undissolved particles are present. The saturated solution contains some undissolved solute, while supersaturated solution has many undissolved solute that are sometimes crystallized.
If you have questions regarding this video, leave your comment below or contact your teacher right away. Thank you.